because oftentimes if I can buy it online, I'd rather do that anyway. So I look for the blog, I look for what people think, I look for information on what I'm searching for, and so blogs are a great way to teach your customers about what you're doing. You know, you build a relationship with your customer, don't build a customer. And the old saying that we love personally, people buy from people. This was mentioned earlier. You go into a store, you know, you get into some big argument with an employee and you never go back there again because you don't like them. Well, blogs, if you're professional and you know, post regularly and you are informational, it's kind of hard to be rude on a blog. So right away you get a good impression to the customer of what you do and who you are because you have time to read over it, look it over, you know, and just all around make sure you're not saying something that's really mean or judgmental. Many blogs are just text. You open up a web browser, you edit your blog, you type in what you want to say, and you post. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can put a video on it, you can put a picture on it, hopefully more than one. And you can customize it to be what your business is. So, the traditional definition of a blog. I don't know where this was pulled from. Looks like Webster's New Millennium Dictionary. And an online diary. Okay, I guess you could go with that one. I don't know. There's another one. A shared online journal. Journal's a little more politically correct nowadays. Diary sounds like, you know, 5-year-old writing in a book with a lock on it. So, what do most people think of when they think blog? What do you think of?
I'm still unclear. Whole thing.
Okay. A lot of people don't know what it is. Or if they're really pushed to give an answer, they'll say a social media site like MySpace. Because MySpace actually does have a blog on it. And or they think a personal site that people put up, you know, some weird random site that you come across on a search and you have no idea what it's about. Looks like a lot of typing.
I think of all my friends, they have all
Yeah.
their kids in there.
You
What
think
they've
of
done, their 4th of July. Yeah, I just went to blogs yesterday and went to French blogs.
Yeah,
So.
you think of, you know, hey, I went to a cool 4th of July party, here's all the pictures in a weird format.
Yep.
You know.
So just little bits of information about your experiences each day or
Sometimes.
or whatever. I don't.
Personal blogs are generally types of blogs. Personal blogs are generally about life and experiences. I have a personal blog that I update regularly. My grandparents in Idaho read it. You know, they call me. I haven't talked to them in 6 months, but they know what's going on in my life because they read my blog.
Right.
Corporate blogs used to enhance communication regarding a company. Some companies will have blogs or update sites just for their employees so that they can get status updates and stuff without, you know, it's a big corporate company, so they don't necessarily talk to the big administrator. But if they read the blog, they'll know what's happening in the administration. Kind of like...
Instead of putting out memos.
Yeah. Instead of putting out memos or, say, NAU. I go to Northern Arizona University. Now their website isn't a blog, but they have a news feed that's somewhat like a blog. They post with updates on what the president decided. Now I don't talk to the president, he's not going to send me a letter. But if I go to the news feed and look at the letter, I'll know what's going on. Still confused?
Still a little, but I mean, I'm further ahead now than I was 2 months ago.
Well, that's good. Okay, so those are the most popular when you think of blogs. You know, personal blogs, big business, corporate blogs. There are a lot more. There's 5 more listed here. You know, you've got question blogs, answer questions submitted by readers. You know, FAQs are kind of a different example of that. It's not a constant feed, but it answers questions. And the rest of those are actually listed in your... So why are they important and how are they useful? Because we don't really care what a blog is unless it gives you something. It creates ongoing new information for current and potential customers. If I go to a blog and I read something that I find interesting, I'm more likely to go back to your blog to see if there's more interesting stuff. It allows companies to announce new products. If you post it on your blog, you're obviously going to post it other places if you're doing other advertisements. But if it's on your blog, new customers or new flow that follows to the blog will see that information. Serves as a stress and concern reliever. You don't have to call somebody to talk to somebody, because a lot of times phone calls nowadays, you get all automated stuff. It tells you their hours, it tells you where they are, and for somebody who's just calling to ask a question, that can be really annoying, especially if there's no button that says go away. You know? So if that customer knows you have a blog and they get used to going to your blog, if they have a question or they hear about a new product that comes out of yours, all they have to do is go to your blog. They can find the information on the product, they can find answers to any major questions they might have, and they didn't have to pick up the phone, search for your number, call you, talk to you, do all that big long steps. All they have to do is log onto your blog and say, hey, I know all the information about that. It's familiar. I go to a website before I talk to somebody. A lot of the older generation doesn't, because they're used to having to walk into a store to find information, deal with people. But nowadays, the computer, these things, I own 3 of these. That's my best friend. So, educate potential customers. If somebody's shopping around and they find a blog, they might go to you instead of somebody else because they've read more information about you, not just reviews on local directories, which are good, but they've also had some direct contact with you in a way that you're not automatically trying to sell them something. If you walk into somewhere and they say, hey, buy this, buy this, buy this, without telling you anything, it's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna go look somewhere else first. Blogs are easy to create and they update easily. A lot of the problems with websites is you pay the money and they're really good and they're really flashy and they're fun, but you don't update them every day because a lot of times you have to call your web designer and have them update it. With some of the newer, cooler websites, you can update it yourself, but it's a lot harder because sometimes it opens up into this big screen and you don't want to break anything. But blogs, a lot of times you start them yourself, you know the password, you just log in, and it's really easy. Later on, we'll go through a walkthrough to show you how on a WordPress blog, which is automated. Blogs are dynamic.